they call me young Marcus, I'm heartless. Like, these are things that I grew up, I watched them videos.
Yeah.
Like, I watch, you know what I'm saying? The I Need a Girl videos, looking, listening to, like, but these are things that more is caught than is taught, and I learned as a parent. More is caught than is taught. When I raise my kids, I understand my examples and the things that I set forward mean more than what I tell them.
Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam, ala rasulillah. It's your brother Amir. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Perspective Podcast, where we have intricate, intimate, sometimes controversial conversations about things that affect us in society and anything that's current and popular, you know what I'm saying, in pop culture. But today, I got a very, 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 very special guest. Someone that I had the pleasure of meeting when I came home from prison, and I've been intrigued by not only his energy and his resilience, and definitely, his endurance to continue pushing forward to establish financial literacy in black and brown communities, and in his own special way, help uplift, the people who've been left behind. So without no delay, my guest, y'all know him as Him500. Welcome to the Perspective.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
So, me and you talk a lot offline, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, like, I'm a person who is definitely intrigued by knowledge.
Yeah.
Anything that I could take away and apply, I'm a fan of, And I will say that every time I have a conversation with you, I walk away with something that either affirms something I knew,
Mm.
clarifies something I thought I knew,
Okay.
or then it be something fresh out the plastic. So,
Yeah.
I definitely want, to give you your flowers. So, we talked about the Him500 story.
Okay.
I mean, many of us that follow you, we caught wind of it in spurts. But I think a lot of times it get overlooked by all of the accolades. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the cars, the jewelries, the jet, all of the type of stuff that people may actually miss out on understanding what it took to obtain these things. So I want you, give us all,
Talk about everything.
yeah,
We can get into it.
Unpack.
Yeah, because now you said it. We had a conversation about when we first met, and because a lot of times we get confused and they look online and they see like the glitz and the glam, the lifestyle. They're gonna look and they're gonna judge my sweater, and I know we was gonna have a conversation, so I put it on purpose. But that's the thing is that, bro, this is who I am. It's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew, like they call me young heartless. They call me young Marcus, I'm heartless. Like these are things that I grew up, I watched them videos. Like I watch, you know what I'm saying? The I Need a Girl videos, looking, listening to, like, but these are things that more is caught than is taught, and I learned as a parent. More is caught than is taught. When I raise my kids, I understand my examples and the things that I set forward mean more than what I tell them. The same thing is that more is caught than is taught. Well, the thing that we caught in our community is lifestyle, how we want to live. We didn't figure out what we want to do to live. We knew how we want to live. So I understand that I'm going to catch more people with how they want to live, not how to live. I can wrap that in I can wrap the poison in candy. If I come and tell you the importance of a holding company and filed as an S corp, like, man, yeah, all right. But if I tell you that the jet, you got to buy the jet. When you get the jet, it's the purposes for this. Cool. Your goal was to buy the jet. Now, along the lines and along this process, you had to learn everything that made sense. But that's what got you and got your attention. So when I do things and people don't understand, it's like, look, I'm not trying to repurpose the way that I got to teach people. I'm not trying to like change their palate. I'm not going to change your palate and tell you that you don't got to idolize and want to get fly. I'm not changing it. That's not my job. My job is to educate you and let you know how to do it respectfully, how to be a respectful father in the best way that I can make my message fit to you. I'm not finna tell you got to change what you want out of life. No, because I ain't changing what I want.
Yes.
I'm going to get fly, and I'll buy bust down jewelry. I'll buy factory. I'll buy whatever I want. Oh, man, you shouldn't buy bust downs. They lose value. I don't care. I bought it because I want it. You think a piece of jewelry is an investment? I need to make $10,000 off of this. If I need to have buy a watch and go spend $100,000 to gain $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over the next 2 years, man, I'm playing wrong. Like, your bag ain't that real. Like, if I need to make an investment, I don't need no $20,000. I need an investment. I'm trying to make M's, hundreds of thousands. I'm not worried about the appreciation of a watch. I'm buying shit that I like when I want it. I got watches that appreciate. They depreciate too. But like, let's get real. Like, we talking money. Like, but this is the commonalities that they pass on us in conversation, how they push it to us. And I be going against all of it.
I understand. I mean, I come from the same background. And, in Harlem, it was more like, fake it till you make it. So my thing is, we all understand the concept of, perception and how we receive. And I think being black in America, we always feel like we're never going to be accepted. We can walk around, like you said, you can walk around probably in a Louis Vuitton store, Gucci store, and it seems like somebody's on your heels, walking around following you, seeing if you actually have, the money to pay for the merchandise.
Yeah.
And sometimes out of pride and ego, what we do, we're just buy the whole thing. Stuff we don't even need, just to prove that, I made it.
Mm-hmm.
So my question would be like, when do we get to a point where we don't have to fake it to make it anymore? Like, we make it, and now is there a pivotal point where the perception of who we became, the work and everything that we invested to get to that point, what does that look like on the outside?
So like you from Harlem, right? I remember I'm from Stockton, and I went from Stockton to Atlanta. It was a total different culture. Mm-hmm. The way that the unity is in Atlanta is totally different. Yeah. The way that the camaraderie is totally different. Mm-hmm. I come from a place where it's a small town. You make it and you consider wealthy if you move up 4 or 5 exits to $300,000-$400,000 homes. Mm-hmm. Exotic cars don't exist. I come to Atlanta, we get on a bus and nobody fight at a party. It's Bentleys out here and they look like us. I seen the camaraderie. I seen it and I said, yo, they actually get along. I'm like, yo, this is up. My cousin went to school in New York. Mm-hmm. We went to Harlem.
Okay.
And when we went out there, he knew people. We came with people that he knew from Harlem. And the way they was greeted was dope. It looked like a movie. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and they like, nigga, like, hold that. Who this nigga? Like you don't exist. You seen dude pull up, BMW, jumping out, he talking loud, but I don't know you. Mm-hmm. You don't exist. It's a total different culture. When you say somebody go into a store and they go into Louis Vuitton, I might be treated bad in Louis Vuitton, but I didn't buy it because how you treated me in Louis Vuitton. I bought it because when I go back into my environment, I'm popping shit on my niggas. You ain't got this.
Yeah.
I'm stepping. I ain't buying it for y'all. I'm buying it for me and my community. And a lot of times that it get confused, like, oh, we trying to impress or we supporting them, but we do things that's dope in our community. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yo, when you go and we buy stuff, we do things that's based off our community. Mm-hmm. It's not, yo, I'm trying to get fly when we was buying Jordans. It don't matter if we buying Jordans. That's a black man. Mm. We go wait in line. Why? I want the Jordans you ain't got.
Yeah.
It's so a lot of times that we look like, yo, I'm not the one to recalibrate people. I just want to educate people like, yo, listen, understand that it's things that come with it. I tell people, like, they be like, oh man, the lifestyle. I be like, yeah, listen, my life is amazing. Mm-hmm. I said, I acquired things that I thought would change would change my life. Mm-hmm. To have the car I dream of, to have a house I dream of. Like, yo, it's up, like everything is, you made it. Mm-hmm. Then it opened my mind to realize that this ain't making it. The freedom that you now have, the stress that you don't have to deal with, the traumas that you can identify that you didn't know because you can think more. You can be clear. Why? Because I'm not chasing the figments of imagination, the materialistic things that I once wanted. Mm-hmm. But I had to get them. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to deprive a young man, a brother coming out the neighborhood who think he need a Hellcat. Let me help you get it the right way. But I know once you accomplish and you get the Hellcat, and you go and you get the condo that you want, and you start living, you start to realize and it open you up. But them pressures gonna always sit on their shoulders. I can't take them off.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not happening. So it don't matter. Like, I can have an intellectual conversation and tell them the importance. Bro, they growing up in this environment, and every single body around them want a Hellcat. Yeah. They racing, and the dudes who they respect and look up to, that the game they catch it from, they got Hellcats.
Yeah.
What happens is that once I became financially free, I started realizing it's not the money, it's not the materialistic things. I started looking at the mental healing that we needed. When I realized that my family members that I thought was lazy, they not lazy, they got traumas. They got issues mentally that they got to overcome. I can't buy you a house to fix that. I got to pay for you a therapist. I got to put you in certain environments around certain people to help you heal as an individual. I got to help you heal as a person. Me accomplishing buying the house, buying the jet, took all the weight that I thought I needed. I blame Meek Mill. I seen Meek Mill on the jet, count $1 million in cash. I wanted that. That sat on my shoulders. Yeah. Once I got it and I did it, I started learning like how I felt as an individual. Like, then I started being able to see like, okay, I did all this grinding to get to this, but now I got the money to fix. Thinking I can fix my family problems with money. It wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So then I realized mentally, oh, but I got enough money to identify, wait, you need a therapist. You got traumas. So when you say like, yo, how do we get to that point of healing somebody? It's not, hey man, you don't need this. We got a bad habit of coming and telling what you don't need. That automatically creates a buck.
Yeah.
Sucker trying to tell me what not to do or something like
that. So I want
that.
to ask you this though, because I think a lot of these terms people take out of context. When you say financially free, like what is your definition of financially free?
Financially free is to a point where financially free, it's a few terms and definitions on that's going to stand on that, because everybody's limit is going to be different. But it comes to a point where you get financially free when you develop certain skill sets, when you understand certain money habits, principles, when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to actually setting budgets and understanding your bookkeeping and understanding how to manage your money, but also being educated on different relationships with money. See, you have to have a relationship with investing. You see, most people think that I'm financially free when I learn a skill set to make money. It's not a savings number that you can be financially free. What happens is that when you start setting things up in place and you understand like, okay, I'm at a point, I'm secure, my foundation is secure, and when it comes to my investments and understanding knowledge of investing, I can be financially free and have $10,000.
Okay.
If I know that, okay, my bills are $3,500 a month, I'm bringing in $5,000 a month, but I've been able to properly save and grow my money to $10,000 in my savings account because I understand how to invest. I understand I got proper insurance on my properties. I understand that every single month where I put my money, how I invest it. I'm at that point financially free. It's somebody that work at McDonald's who is in a better financial situation than somebody who make $100,000 a year, if you got the proper education and things like that. So you get to a financial free point when you understand like your discipline with money. That's how you get financially free.
Because I think, especially me coming out the streets, coming out the music business, we didn't have people who taught us how to manage money.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people, you know, got duped by a lot of these accountants out there. You know what I'm saying? Telling us that we in a 52% tax bracket. We have to put this aside for estimated taxes and so on and so forth. And it's like, okay, so every time I want to give my mother $1,000, you're telling me I'm really spending $1,500. You know what I'm saying? And logically, it made sense because the whole objective is just to make sure moms is all right. So we didn't look at down the road. This is for estimated taxes, not actual taxes. So now once the taxes and everything is suffice, your accountant is not only making off with the percentage that he's, you know, that's been arranged in his services, he's actually running off with a nice chunk of your bread. So I say this to say, when it comes to management, and this is something, it's a statistic out there floating around. I don't know it, but they say a lot of these athletes, you know what I'm saying, in particular, because you got a kid that been playing sport all his life.
Yep.
I mean, 15 full court games, toes about to come out his shoes. He's never had no money in his life. Some of the local drug dealers may be actually paying for his jerseys that he get in the tournament, throw him in little sneakers if he win a chip. You know what I'm saying? So this kid turns around, finishes school, and now he is about to acquire an $80 million deal. So what the first thing he do? He go and acquire, he goes and purchases all the things he never had, all the things he dreamt of. And guess what? The guys that supported him, that was there with him when they were sharing the soda and the sandwich, he tries to fulfill all their dreams. Mom Dukes, get her a nice house, so on and so forth. And after all this clears, he has to go back to playing the sport at an even higher level now to not only get back what he just spent, but to try to, excel in the sport without getting injured.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But what's more common is athlete gets injured. You know what I'm saying? So what was promised on the back end of his contract, he might not even see it. So I'm going through this scenario just to explain that in your field of work, you're giving people the opportunity to understand that there is a way to acquire wealth without harming anybody, killing anybody. Unfortunately, we still got to look over our shoulder. That doesn't go away. As long as your skin look this color, as long as you come from some of the inner cities that we come from, you know what I'm saying, we don't completely get to shed all of the adversity that comes with that. And I understand your concept of financially free because that's the way I see it. If all of your expenditures are satisfied, and at the end of the month, you got a little something to play with, you can take the family, do some nice things, take the wife, do some nice things, and not be hurting. You know what I'm saying? And this is how it should be understood. That's why I said the term gets misconstrued because some people think financially free, you have to amass wealth.
Yep.
So I'm glad you used the scenario about the guy working at McDonald's may actually be doing better than the guy with a six-figure salary. So now let's get into...
Can I unpack it? Because you said some stuff and I ain't letting it go.
Okay.
Right? You broke down because you said, like, the industry that you come out of and athletes, how the accountant says this is for taxes, right? And so that's what happened. Okay, this is what you put up for taxes. But then you don't understand that, okay, I buy my mama a house. Okay, well, that's a business. So you should have another LLC set up for that when you actually purchase your mama house. Okay, so, but then also understand that you got certain businesses traveling. You got your homeboys around you and with you. Okay, so is this your security company? Is this like a part of, you may be doing on the road, you getting booked, the athletes, they going to clubs. They may have a touring company. But that touring company take a loss because I'm paying for all these tickets. So now I got a touring company for when I'm on the road. As I'm going, my touring company, I have to bring my staff. I got to bring my team that's going to have to be with me, security, my entourage. So now I'm taking a loss there. That's helping me on my overall taxable income because it's money that I'm losing. But what happens is that these are all things, okay, you giving back and you doing things in the hood. You should have a nonprofit set up and a foundation set up where you're taking money, putting it there. So now you that's taken away and helping you with your tax bill. What happens is that these are things that we should know and that we should be educated on. So what happens is that did the accountant jerk you or you jerk yourself because the information is available? Yeah, you learned how to dribble and you spent all the time on how to play ball, but why do you got people around you if you're not amplifying them? Why are you paying somebody to go to the club but you're not paying somebody to go buy a course?
And that's my thing. I mean, there's some truth to what you're saying, but I think the lack of knowledge.
But this is why I got broke ass niggas with money.
Yeah.
So now you become a broke ass nigga with money. You no matter. Okay, you reach a certain
mentality.
A broke mentality, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, you made the money, but it's your responsibility to educate yourself. It's not. We can't give a pass. We got to stop allowing people to be like, well, he didn't know. Ignorance is no excuse. When we know that when we go to jail, ignorance is not an excuse. But we only know that in the prison system. So why we don't apply that same principle and hold that same standard to our brothers when we say, yo, you get money, but you don't know this? Well, nigga, that's your fault. You dumb. So it's cool to be dumb. Then it's like, nah, it's offensive. Yeah, okay, then I'm gonna offend you, broke ass nigga with money. Now it's like, yo, what? Yeah, because now I gotta offend you for you to take offense, for you to actually look into it and be like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now you listening because it's no reason that the information in today's society is there. It's out here for us. People provide the resources, but what happens is that I don't want to learn that. I'm just going to pay somebody to do it. That's why we keep losing.
Yo, check it out. It's your brother Amir, formerly known as Loon. And on this episode of Perspective Podcast, sponsored by Paid Meals, the pay it forward mobile application coming soon. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, Paid Meals is one of the most trusted companies when it comes to giving back to people in need. We have an array of partners from grocery stores, restaurants, food trucks, food carts, and certified private chefs, and a host of nonprofit organizations. So if you're interested in joining us in this fight against hunger and food insecurity, you can visit us at www.paidmeals.com, and you can register as a contributor, a receiver, or a participating vendor. The Paid Meals 2.0 mobile application coming soon, December 2023. Inshallah. So without no further delay, let's get back to the Perspective Podcast. Enjoy the show. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, like what you doing with Recession Proof, and what Troy and Rashard is doing with Earn Your Leisure, and y'all whole conglomerate. This is a new surgence of information that is actually accessible. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, in my day, we had what a lot of people call the gatekeepers. And we're going to get into that because we talked about it a little bit. But the gatekeepers are the ones who may have endured the same scrutiny trying to get in the game. Once they get a foothold in the game, instead of doing knowledge transfer, like some of our, white counterparts, just off their last name, Walkowski, whatever it is, they're born into that system of knowledge. But for us, we'll get to a place where, okay, we achieve some success, and there's a lot of little nuggets and things and gems in there that we can throw back. But instead, we rather withhold it, and administer small fractions of that information so that you can control the outcome of the next person's success, opposed to seeing him either level out with you or excel past you. So, I mean, what's your take on that as far as like the knowledge transfer?
It's a lot, right? Because we say counterparts a lot, like white people. But it's more broke white people than rich white people. For some reason, I don't know why all black people think white men look like Wall Street.
That's a fact. I'm glad you said that.
Like, oh man, when you say white person, you think Wall Street.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I've been to middle of America. I think 15 Flint, minutes Michigan. Out. Exactly. So it'd be like, yo, white people do this. And it's like, yo, man, Asians don't do this with their wealth when they building wealth. Which ones you know? What rich people you know that drive Hondas? Oh, that's a story. So we got these mythologies that we get planted in our seeds that somebody else told us that we believe. You ain't see it firsthand.
Yeah.
Nigga, you live in College Park and you work at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they told you that white people do this, and that's what you think that real wealth, and it made you look at negative at black people and feel like, oh man, y'all should just be giving us the game or doing this, or y'all gatekeeping, or you holding stuff back. You haven't even elevated enough and took the time enough to properly process how they're gatekeeping. Yeah. And why and what industries are being gate when you say a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, yo, they're a gatekeeper. How? Is this a gate that only one man can go through? If I work a deal and I'm middleman, right? Because you look a lot of people like, yo, he got the game, he got money, but he's a lot of like go into the industry, right? A lot of these dudes is middlemen. If I tell you how to middleman, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not nothing against you, but I'm middleman.
Yeah.
I get paid from making this deal happen. I get paid because I know him and I know him. I can't tell you how to do this because if he knows that this is all I'm doing and introducing him to him and this is how I'm making money and how I'm negotiating the contracts, I won't get paid. I can't tell that out loud.
Yeah.
But what we don't realize is that we don't take the time back to analyze business and see who's in what position and how they're analyzing and operating businesses and how business works. It's not gatekeeping when you start to understand, okay, you do have people that make gatekeep because they say, yo, oh man, I know I got investing funds and things like that and I ain't telling nobody. Then it's like, yo, why you ain't letting us come? Because I know people that a gatekeeper is like, I know I got an investment in funds, but I'm only going to give it to the athletes because I want to be a celebrity investor. And it's like, yo, it's black people over here who got money, but you're not even letting them get the opportunity to invest with you because you're only doing it with celebrities because you want the clout. See, it's different. But now,
it's definitely variation.
I can stand on either side of that fence and say, well, ain't no gatekeeping happening. No, it is, but it happens over here. But what we got to realize is that a lot of times you're not even qualified to get through the gate. that you think somebody is holding out information on?
Yeah.
Like, are you even qualified to get to the gate? Have you even, once you get through the gate, do you even got the skill sets to maintain it? A lot of people ask me for stuff. They yo, man, I just want to talk to you, man. I need about, man, an hour of time from you. Man, if I spend an hour with you and I give you the game and give you the information that I got, you don't got the system to actually put it in place.
Yeah.
You don't even got a team to actually help you do it. So I waste an hour of my time for what? Telling you something that you can't even utilize. Dude asked me, what's the difference between rich and wealthy? I said, don't ask me that. You don't spend your time asking me a methodical question when you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you putting something in your diet and taking something into your mind that you can't utilize now?
Yeah.
Ask me something that I can help you do now. Ask me, how do you develop, what kind of skill, what kind of things should you do to develop a skill set? What kind of skill sets can you help you develop? What should you be doing to improve your skill sets or your work ethic? What should that look like on a daily basis? What are things that I can do to make money now and develop my skill sets, my work ethic, and my overall value to learn how to generate capital for myself? Outside of learning about budgeting, I got to make money. I'm a businessman. I'm talking about money. I want to help you make money. I don't care about everything else. I want to show people how to make money. That's my takeaway. My input to people is like, let me show you how to make money.
See, I think growing up, a lot of people kind of like exclude the value of being taken to the well. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I learned to actually interpret whether a person is posing as a gatekeeper or is they're protecting their interests or protecting the value of what they bring. Because it's like, if I just, unpack and just give all this away, right? Like you said, it may not even benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Then I've wasted my time unpacking. But if I can do some sort of assessment to see where you at, and that's what I think, why this gets misconstrued or even turned into something negative, because it's like, if I took the time to actually assess your current situation, at that point, whatever I offer will be a greater benefit to you. Once I know your capacity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that is what's missing with a lot of us in regard to people of color. When we do get there, it's like we still in that mode where it's like we in hustle mode. So the language, the lifestyle, and everything that comes with that mode, sometimes we may overlook a person's capacity and may come across sometimes like, insensitive.
Use me as an example.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about gatekeeping, when it comes to information, when it comes to education, right? Like you said, you're going to break down and you're going to sit there and then you evaluate where somebody is at to give a proper assessment, to give them the information that's needed to really help them go to the next level. What happens is people look at me and be like, yo, man, y'all sell information. Why y'all not giving it away for free? Okay, we got a whole community and culture that's broken. You selfish as fuck if you think that I need to take time to spend with your ass one-on-one. That's only for your benefit. And it's not proven that you're going to gain success when we got millions of people who need help. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who need help. So if for me as myself, I have to analyze, I'm a businessman. So I'm teaching people about business. I have to have a proper structure in place. How many people work and die by living in the community at the YMCA that was full of heart and just everything, but they impact could have been so much greater if they had a bigger platform and more reach. See, so what happens is that people, they get selfish, and then like you said, like it is the assessment to properly help people. But am I gatekeeping because I got all the game and I know certain things that I learn from experience. But then along the lines is that I'm also a businessman. See, people get it confused and be like, oh man, they sell information, da 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 da. They holding back the game. This is my business. But a lot of people get into that. They look at from a selfish standpoint, and they don't realize that the standpoint and the lens that they're looking from is part of the reason why they can't grow, because they can't proper analyze a situation and see how to get a benefit from it. See, when I say recession proof, I figure out how to benefit 4 ways from anything I'm involved with. So, and that's some of the principles that I instill in my students, is that you have to be able to see the benefit in every situation. You got to see the pros and the cons, but a lot of us in our community can't see that. So when you look at somebody like me and you say, well, man, y'all getting rich selling courses and selling information, I'm getting rich building the infrastructure. I'm building an infrastructure to help empower people. I got mentees that make $1 million. I got mentees that go out and get 50,000 in credit and make $3,000 a month. And I help them maintain a roof over their kid's head for 6 months, 8 months when they was finna go to DFACS. Meanwhile, somebody else made $1 million. His success is not more important than his success to me. But people can't see that I gotta service everybody. It's not one person looking for me to help them get to the mountaintops. It's people out here finna lose their kids. Right. It's people out here in foreclosure. It's people out here who got family members in rehab that need somewhere to come home to. It's people who got family members come home from prison. Everybody got a different service. And what happens is that I set up an infrastructure to educate everybody, but I also set up a business and make it profitable for myself. I'm a businessman. Your family and your kids not more important than mine. Your struggle and your desire is not more important than mine. I learned how to go make money for myself, and I was able to go and say, okay, I can make $500,000 a year. I learned how to do that. But then my mind grew, and I learned how to grow and say, I can teach other people how to make $500,000 a year. Well, if I teach other people how to make this money, and I set my infrastructure up, I can make $5 million a year. Guess what? My education grew. My value grew to the people who now I'm educating. So I was at one point only exposed to rooms that can help you make 500,000. As I'm growing this infrastructure, my resources change. Everything grows. I become more valuable to the whole environment and everybody that is around me as I'm servicing them. But you'll look and say, man, just give it to me for free. If I give it to you for free, I don't grow and I maintain this level of finances, of financial literacy, of financial resources. I maintain this level. So I don't grow for your benefit. But it's like, oh, I don't look at it that way. Well, this is my business. And if I can set up a business to make $10 million a year, you don't think it's things that I'm going to learn in there that help you benefit that you should be able to learn from as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a marketing department because I got to learn marketing and advertisement. See, you think that me just selling information, cool. Well, if I don't learn marketing, advertisement, social media, and things like that, then I can't teach you that either. So all I could teach you is hand-to-hand combat. You want me to just teach you how to go and do taxes and pass out yard signs and stuff like that? Or do you need to learn social media? Do you need to understand the importance of YouTube, right? But I have to hire and build a team out around this.
So let me ask you a question. So how does like the mentorship thing look so that the listeners and watchers can understand, like, to be a mentee, to be mentored by Him500?
My mentorship closed. It was recession-proof mentorship. I closed it. Now we got the university, EYL University, powered by recession-proof. And then I got like a 1%er mastermind. Okay. Right? But how it worked, it would work like, what I realized is that it was $5,000 to work with me. I wasn't working with everybody. I would go teach for free in master classes and things like that. I get the game for free. What happens is that people want more help. I can teach you everything for free. It's on YouTube. I gave you the game already. Yeah. You want to sit down and talk to me?
That's the part I was gonna get to.
Yeah, you want to sit down and talk to me. Check this out. I got kids I can spend time with. I don't know you. I don't owe you nothing. I don't know you. Like, they get it confused. Like we ain't the same. Like, oh man, you so inspirational. You're inspiration. That's cool. This is what I give to you. I don't know you. If I get a chance to know you, I might like you. But I don't know you. I don't know your kids. I don't know your mom. I don't know your wife. I don't know none of that. You don't exist to me. I exist to you. And my value only exists to you. And the only reason I exist to you is because of the value I bring. I give everything that I can give for free in the capacity I can give it. I do a master class, 2 million views. What more you want from me? I got videos with 2 million views giving game and teaching. You want me to go and the thing I just taught you, you want me to come and repeat it to you right here. I said it already. I got 3,000 posts on Instagram, giving game, giving examples. I did multiple webinars, giving everything. You don't pay for none of that. It's free. I say, well, you want more? You want me to give you resources? You want me to like break it down? Give me $1,000. Oh man, you gatekeeping, man. Y'all don't want to see us win.
So basically, just now that the mentorship program is over, so basically, in a nutshell, $5,000.
That was it. My bad. I didn't even answer. I'm ranting. We talking because we.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Because it's
it's $1,000, and what I did was I realized. Listen, I taught people about credit. And I said, okay, I'm going to teach you and educate you about credit. But what happens is that I teach you about budgeting, finances, and things like that. But then you need other things because Okay, you wanted to come in and you got your credit together and you wanted to learn about real estate. Well, I'm not a real estate expert. So what I did was, see, I'm one of the ones who you could see your money work. So I was taking the money and I would go buy other courses instead of you having to go pay somebody else, because that was the thing. You got to go pay all these people and they become irritated. And I get it why people could be like, damn, man, I got to pay all y'all for this different stuff. So what I did was said, well, listen, I'm going to take the money and go buy it so you don't got to buy it. I go give a dude 50,000 for his whole course. Here go 50,000. Let me get that course. Okay, so now I got a course on Airbnb. Now I got a course on how to start an ambulance business. Now I got the whole infrastructure to go start a healthcare business. Now I got a whole infrastructure on real estate, wholesaling, fix and flip mortgages. So I got all of these different resources that I brung back.
So you invested in the infrastructure.
But this is the money working. But then this is why it can't be free, because if you don't have any value, like. This is an exchange of finances. We have to exchange money. Yeah. We can never grow if money don't circulate in the community. If we don't stimulate ourselves and each other, then how do we grow? We're learning peer-to-peer education. We have to stimulate each other financially as well. Mm-hmm. You got to be okay with giving money to your brother. Mm-hmm. And you got to be okay with adding value back to your brother, helping them make money and see the best ways to service them. It's my job to make sure I give you all the value and everything that I see from my lens. How can I give you the most value to help you become successful as well? So that's why I went out and I brought the university is multiple budgeting, everything, one place. You talking about Airbnb, Turo, you name it, things that you want to go into business about, learning different skill sets. I bring it into one place where now you got all the resources. I put 27 chapters in place across the United States. So we got 27 chapters. We got a 60 and older club for our mature earners, right? For those that are 50 and older, it's our mature earners club. Why? Because the people who are over 50, they don't learn and they don't want to network with the 21-year-olds who are over here talking about the latest TikTok trend. Mm-hmm. They're not doing that. And they got different things. We got a travel club. We got an international club. So I had to build out an infrastructure. Why? Because I had to figure out my community needs things. And I don't get it wrong. Like when I say like, a lot of our community understands peer-to-peer education. They understand learning from each other and they respect it, and we're growing, and this is how we build together, and we realistically are working together.
But it ain't for everybody.
It's not for everybody, and I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But there is a lot of us that understand this and go, that's what I need. I don't got to do it by myself. My whole goal is I don't want people to have to do it by themselves. Mm-hmm. But I got to get, when you look and you got people who, I had somebody come to me and this shit, these are things that helped me grow. It was like, yo, he pulled me to the side and was like, bro, I'm in the community. I paid. He was like, I can't watch the videos. I said, what you mean? He said, I got a learning disability, bro. Mm. He was like, I can't learn that way. And I said, that's not a you problem. That's a me problem. That's my fault. I didn't assess that. I didn't assess the different. Talked about that. I didn't assess the different learning styles.
Absolutely.
So I went and created live calls where we go through the curriculums. So I got to pay somebody because I'm the owner. So I got to pay and hire teachers. So now we do live calls where you can get on here and we go through curriculums and they walking you through setting up e-commerce stores. They walking you through drop shipping. So you're walking through doing it together. They're giving you the live examples. You can ask questions here now, giving you to-dos. Once you go and do it, we got a group in the app where you can go in and it's a study hall. But that was I had to learn that. So I learned that, and now when people look, it's like it's a lot that goes into operating, helping people. Yeah. No one person is. No,
it definitely does, and I think it's way more tedious when it comes to our people. May Allah guide us, rectify our affairs. But I honestly believe, because I just want to talk a little bit about the experiences I had with you. The first time you introduced me to at that point, I think it was a recession proof.
Yeah,
you was running the show then, because we had the Invest Fest just passed, but it was a recession proof. And it was fascinating to me because, like I said, in my previous career, I was used to that type of audience being present for a rap concert or something.
Yeah.
I've never would have imagined that a person, not even a person, just a conglomerate of people of color, coupled with a few white billionaires as well, who was also there to show the contrast between their success and the success that you guys acquired, and all of that. It made perfect sense. Like, it wasn't something that needed to be broke down or explained. It was basically saying, look, this is the new wave of socioeconomic issues that we suffer in our community. These are the type of environments that you need to be in. Because I had a brother, actually a Muslim brother,
Mhm.
and like with us, I'm going to talk about this later about, you know, some of the boundaries we have when it comes to doing business, like because we can't deal in interest. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, living in Western society, that's almost, it's very, very difficult, to skip past that. But anyway, this brother I know is very dear to me. I call him Medium Amir. He calls me Big Amir, but he's
Yeah.
really Big Amir. I'm Smeedy Amir. But anyway, he goes to all the joints. He's like, yo, I'm about to fly out to Vegas. I'm about to fly here. You know what I'm saying? Also, brother Yusuf as well. So it's like, I'm like, I don't understand because we have within our religion a certain methodology in how we do business, and it's more done around the mannerisms because that's what makes business attractive. When we think about like you live in Stockton, so it's like a large Asian community there,
Hmm.
and us growing up in New York, New Jersey, Philly, whatever the case may be, we've always known that Asian, merchants or businessmen
Yeah.
have the threshold and the endurance to deal with some of the most belligerent customers in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could be just outright just disrespectful, and they'll still sit there and say, "Oh, that'd be all."
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So these are the things that I learned later in Islam that this was at the forefront of what made business attractive and what made people want to do business with you is how you conduct yourself, as far as your mannerisms.
Yeah.
Because the person will walk away and reflect, like, man, I was really mean to that guy. He never even like broke a sweat. He never disrespect me back. And
Yeah.
you reflect on it. Then
Yeah.
the next time you come through do business with him, you give him like a moderate attitude. Like, man, here, here,
Hmm.
take a tip. It's like, because you felt bad, but you don't
Yep.
want to come back and just completely tuck tail. He's like, you come back kind of like, or medium or
Yeah.
intermediate, a-hole. But anyway, I learned that a person that has that type of understanding, coupled with all of the information that's required in order to be successful in the business world, in the Western world,
Hmm.
because, you've traveled. I've seen some, stuff you post. You've been to some really nice places,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like I'm pretty sure you've learned that people do business different ways in different
Hmm.
places.
Hmm.
Some places are people a lot more transparent, a lot more forthcoming, a lot
Hmm.
more giving in the sense of, you know, an introduction or introductory type of, approach to like, hey, look, just take this, take that, and we'll talk from here.
Yeah.
So what I learned from that time you took me to the recession proof conference was I saw people who acquired success on different fronts and wasn't impeding each other in the sense of, for example, you got your boy Alex doing the trucking thing.
Yeah.
And then you had the other lady, what's her name, Black Queen,
Who?
the woman that has the $100 million trucking
Truck.
business.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's like I remember I was with a brother that was into the trucking space.
Yeah.
We was talking to Troy and Rashad,
Yeah.
and immediately Troy was like, "Oh nah, that's not my thing. You should go talk to Alex." And it was like just that split moment,
Yeah.
because like where we come from. I got a brother right now who's present right now. Riding around with him is like, he's always pointing out, yo, I did them lights right there. Like, nobody want to hear about no lights. Like, see that little blink right there? Like his he start going into his whole spiel about
Yeah.
electrician stuff.
Yeah.
Now I have someone come to me about a gig that suits, his expertise.
Mm.
What's common in our community is like, we don't even do electricity. But
Mm.
instead of like referring that business to him, right?
Yep.
We'll just like dead the whole situation. Like, nah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nobody do that. It's like, nah.
When you to set the referral, or you middleman it,
Or you middleman.
and you be like, yo, oh yeah, I can help you get
I'd
into
rather
that.
set the referral. Because you know why? Because I'm going to come to him later and be like, look, I need my lights done, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even keeping score, counting how many people I might have sent to your business. But all I know is I'm having an LED emergency right now, and I could use some assistance. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
you can give me the associate rate, or I'm gonna support your business anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be looking for something to be reciprocated because I help. We
Mhm.
really should be looking like, bro, I want to support your business. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Where that exact example, right, is that, like you said, Troy said it from EYL. They got a trucking company.
Mhm.
Alex helped set that up, handheld, and help build that. But that's one of the principles that we now stand on. A lot of us stand on in this community is that partnership and collaboration. It's collaboration over competition. It's okay for us to collaborate. It's okay for us to collaborate in the essence of, I don't got to do what you do. I don't need to be the master of that.
Yeah.
That's what you do. We got to figure out how do we collaborate, come together, make money together, and do things to push forward the narrative. If not even just make money, how do we push the culture? How do we push the positivity? We got to learn how to do these things together on all fronts as a community. And when you come into that event, like you come into recession proof convention, what you see is that where else can we go that we can learn? Like, see, I'm not Muslim, so my spiritual side, like we talk,
Yeah,
like
we're
my
gonna talk
dad
about that
Muslim,
later. Yeah.
but you know, with us in the business side and positivity, just regular, where do we go to be in a positive environment? Most of the times, if I'm in Atlanta, if I go to brunch, I gotta hear hit them with a stick, and or you swag surfing by my French toast, right? Either they gonna swag surf, it's I go get my car wash, it's hookah, it's alcohol,
Yeah.
it's music, and the music that's playing is hit them with a stick. So anything, majority of the things that we do comes around, oh, we going out to party, we going to a club. The music that we gonna hear. So a lot of the environments that we exist in, a lot of times it's just toxic.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's of our culture. It's our culture. It's toxic. But just as important that is for your relaxation, the release, it's just as important that you got to go somewhere where you need to do an intake, where I want to go out and I just want to be around good people. I want to be around people who want more. How can I get around people who not coming to get drunk? I want to go around people who coming to
Yeah.
learn. I want to be around people who are actually succeeding in business or looking to succeed in business and have productive conversations that's coming in here to smile and they ain't bringing their gun with them and I ain't got to worry about a fight breaking out. I'm seeing other people's businesses. You go into the vendor section, it's all these entrepreneurs who look like us
Yeah.
with their business on forefront. We have to create. We're responsible for creating those environments.
Yeah.
And in that environment, we're also responsible for creating the energy. You're looking at the heads of the business of this whole environment and you've seen it happen firsthand.
Yeah.
And you tell them, oh, that's so-and-so do that. That's his lane.
Yo, and that was one of the things that intrigued me because it's like y'all actually got Steve Harvey and all these other people on the stage,
That's
but all,
InvestFest. Yep.
yeah, but
Yep.
all the InvestFest, yeah,
Yep.
but all of the vendors are appreciative of the fact that not only I'm in the building, but I do have an opportunity now to grow out my business. So it wasn't like, it was just like I said, it was an experience for me because I was used to that setting being a place where, I'm about to get on stage, me and Puff about to get on stage, about to be pyro, he about to come out the floor. We might come from under the stage. It's showtime.
Yeah.
But to see so many, young black and brown faces attentive,
Yeah.
listening and soaking up knowledge of business in a manner that doesn't, like you said, constitute violence, arrogance, pride,
Yep.
ignorance, all of these things. Everyone that was present, you would say the vast majority, maybe 98, almost close to 100% of these people that were present
Mhm.
were there for the benefit.
Yep.
So I guess what I want to ask you now, because it's obvious that, through the years, you've accomplished a lot. And you've created like this infrastructure.
Mhm.
Obviously, this had to be a passion or something that you actually wanted to create so that other people could benefit as well. But when it comes down to Him500, we got to talk about these two personalities now. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I need to know who is Bust Down and who is Poindexter.
So, we got Bust Down and Poindexter is two personalities. And you'll see it in conversation.
Yeah.
I start talking and I'll be on point and I start talking about the business and the infrastructure and then I start saying nigga.
That's Bust Down.
That's Bust Down.
Okay.
But the reason is that is
May Allah guide him.
you said what?
I said, may Allah guide points.
Yeah.
Bust Down.
So when I do things is that, man, I come from my community and it's certain things that I am who I am. That's what I said. I'm wearing jewelry. I'm wearing designer clothes, but then I can wear my suits to understand my business infrastructure, and I got an intellectual side, and it's okay to be both. And so with Bust Down and Poindexter, is that a lot of times I create arguments and different viewpoints that's both right. It's two ways. It's always multiple ways to skin a cat. It's never one that's right and one that's wrong. See, it was a lot of times where you get like your Morehouse men that look down on everybody else because they more so the, and and I seen the brotherhood. I had to learn because I used to throw little stones, but I learned the brotherhood and the infrastructure, and I learned a lot from what they created and the standard that they hold each other to and that they operate at is amazing. But you got your studious black men, but you also got the urban.
Yeah.
I fell into a place where I was too square for the hood. I was too nigga for corporate, for the Morehouse, man. I'm too much of a nigga. Like you, and I'm in a weird space. I got a rap song out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a song with Ross and Mozzie. I got another song with LaRussell, but I do business. I own a private jet. I own a tech company. And it's like, I'm well diverse in all these different rooms and I can converse from different angles. So I created the synopsis of Bust Down to Poindexter because Bust Down gonna be the one who's gonna say it raw and kind of give the flashy lifestyle, and Poindexter is the one who's on point and can converse and then kind of bring the message together. You gonna pick up on this or you gonna pick up on this because I know my audience. Some people is there, they attracted to the Bust Down. Some of them is there like I just want to learn, bro, and I don't like the choice words you be using sometimes. Like you be cussing and it's not like I had an older lady come up to me. She said. Something, she gave me a Bible scripture and was like, I just had to ignore the some of the choice words because the message was needed. And I was like, listen, I apologize, but I'm glad that the message was there.
Yeah.
But I got to be who I am. So I created Bust Down to Poindexter as two different personalities. Like you got the suit and you got the one that's.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like even in Islam, when we invite people to Islam, the best manner is to invite people based on their capacity. Everything is not black and white. Some of us, may come across, kind of insensitive or harsh if we try to apply things in a manner that either we received it or in that, clear-cut manner in how it's established. But the application of inviting someone, even if it's not just a religion, anything, it's done based on the people's capacity. So I can understand, being amongst people who may lack certain qualities that qualify for corporate, Wall Street, whatever the case may be. But I think even Elon Musk made a statement about some of the best businessmen were ex-drug dealers. Because you had to understand, you running a logistical business, you're running a supply chain under the radar for years on and trying, it's really a long joyride.
Yeah.
Because the moment that business hits the light, it's over. So you have to be an extraordinary, business savvy person to run that business. And I'm not condoning anything illegal or negative. It's just to give contrast that to what you said. There's more than one way. There's always more than one way, or there's different variations of how you acquire success. So with that being said, what do you think makes Him500 whole and complete? So you have, of course, you have Marcus Barney. You have Him500.
Mm-hmm.
You have Bust Down, you have Poindexter, you have an extraordinary family. I had the pleasure of meeting, your family. I don't think I got to meet the kids yet, but I can tell that even your family values and your core value and everything is all in place.
Yeah.
What makes you complete though? Like what completes all of this hustle and bustle, all of the things that you got going on? Like how do you center all of that?
What do you mean? Like you said, complete and then center. What you mean? Like,
Well, whenever you're in a place of solace, you know, many of us we create these environments for ourselves. We create this place of refuge and solace for ourselves. But I guess just to use myself as an example, when I acquired all of the success from the music business, I learned that there's a level where you get to the vampire phase. Now, the vampire phase is when you have to live vicariously through other people to appreciate what you got. So that means
mm,
that if you actually used to accustomed to driving foreign cars all the time, it start feeling like a Honda to you, right?
mm-hmm.
But when somebody else see it in their excitement, it kind of triggers, the excitement you felt when you first bought it. It's just like a movie you've seen 1,000 times. We all seen Trading Places 1,000 times, but somebody said, "You ain't seen Trading Places?" Oh man, here, sit in my favorite chair. You bring out the popcorn. You looking at him
Yeah, yeah,
when the jokes and the puns is coming.
yeah.
That's the vampire phase. A
Okay.
lot of wealthy people suffer from this, but they may not feel like they're suffering. You know what I'm
I
saying?
ain't never thought about that.
Exactly.
That was yeah.
So when I say complete or whole,
Mm,
I mean that for me, and this is just me myself as an example, I got to a point where some of the things that, were utilized to get to that point where I started to learn other things about life, they became a little redundant and they started to become a little repetitive and it started to become expected. So like every country I would visit to, like, Loon, how you doing, Loon? I got the girls, I got the weed, I got this. Loon, different languages, different accents, but it
yeah,
was the same thing,
yeah.
So you start to bring people along
Mm-hmm.
to witness some of this for you so that you can actually rejuvenate your excitement for it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I said in the beginning, and this is why I'm coming full circle with it, because it's like, I'm not saying that, you know, we fake it to make it, but we know that we have to project a certain type of, persona and perception in order to get to that point where it's like, okay, cool, I've proven my worth.
Yeah.
When do we get to that point where that comfort zone that we created and all of that starts to get challenged and we have no other place to seek refuge when those challenges come? Because it's easy to draw closer to your family. That always makes us feel better. It's like, say, I'm getting tired of being in these people's face. I'm getting tired of this. Dude ran up on me the other day, said something way off the wall. I'm about done. I'm about to slide out the roof. I used to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I, turn my phone off, turn it back on, 300 missed calls, whatever the case may be. So I found that my problems were inescapable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So my question, I guess, to bring it all full circle, where do you seek refuge when you get to those points where the challenges become a little bit weighty, or they become a little burdensome? Because this is now us getting into the conversation we had about the spiritual aspect, because this is
Nah,
very important. It's,
that's one of the things that I had a conversation with my wife about, and I ask people questions. But this is like the importance when people say like your network. I always hear people say cliche, your network, your network. And I'm like, yeah, shit, corny, right?
yeah.
But I call people like Rashad.
Hmm.
That's one of the people I talk to all the time. And I asked my wife, and she couldn't really answer the question.
Hmm.
She's my wife, so it's different.
Yeah.
I said, what do you do when greatness becomes normal?
That's it.
Like, what do you do? And because it sat on me like you can do something great, but it's just normal. It's regular. You got 20,000 people finna be in Atlanta in a couple of days. All right, well, come on. I got my outfit yesterday. What? This is not. This is it's a 1% chance that you become a millionaire as an African American, let alone in business, and to do it multiple over and over is like a percent of a percent. To go over 10 million is like you're a percent of a percent of odds. Like it's not supposed to happen. It's not. It's not regular. So, and I call and I ask, yo, it'd be like, shit, just be greater, right? And we start laughing and say shit, right? Like, be greater, but not. And I had to really look into it, like, because I'm at a point that that's where I started doing wealth therapy because I had to look back and realize when I do wealth therapy, I'm talking to myself.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
And it's like when you get to a point where you got to look internally, it's nothing that external I can do now. It's not, I'm going to travel the world more. I'm going to go on a better vacation. I'm going to go peace. Like, I went to Jamaica. I told people, I said, I went to Jamaica. It was amazing. I'm walking. It's a bungalow on the water. I said, I wanted to go home. My floor is heated. I don't flush my toilet. I just walk away. Like, I don't, I don't want to, like, my life is, I said, but I'm comfortable at home. I built a life that I don't need a vacation from. I don't got to leave. But what do it do for, like, where do I lock in at and continue to grow? Like, my excitement that when I first started, like, I loved hustling. Like, I loved studying. Like, I'm a student at all times. Now I have to study myself and some of my experiences and unpack them for other people. And it started becoming like a peaceful place for me to sit on my couch and have a conversation and just talk about my life. And then I'm unpacking old memories and things that happened and experiences.
Revisiting certain times in your life where
That's one of the things now that bring me peace. Like, that's one of the things that now I get to a point where it's like, wait, slow down, reflect. You've been running so much that Hov said, to look in the mirror and still not see what you become. I know I'm guilty of it too, but not like them. Like, you look and I'm me. I'm Marcus. I'm still the same person. I'm not. I just get treated different places I go. Like, I move around by myself. Like, I don't be security. Like, I'll be by myself. Like, Walmart, Target, right? And people are like, yo, I'm here taking pictures. And I'll be like, sometimes I'll be in environments and be like, yo, you bugging right now.
yeah, but like you said, you're not the same because a couple years ago, Marcus going to Jamaica would have been a whole different experience
Yep.
versus what Marcus built for himself that now kind of like devalues Jamaica, you know?
It was amazing. Like, how can I say, like, it was an amazing trip.
Oh yeah, the environment can't be duplicated. I mean, people,
Can't, right? Amazing
Yeah.
vibe. But it's, you go places and it's just like you've experienced so much.
Yeah.
Jamaica's amazing, but I've been to Maldives. And it's like, this water looks good. But I also been to St. Thomas and the water is a little bit nicer over there.
Yeah.
Like, the people here is a little bit, some people could be mean, but then the love here is like unmatched. I can't duplicate the love I get in Jamaica and Maldives. This vibe is different.
Yeah.
The people is different. But I learned so much, experiencing so much, but you it's almost, how can I say, it's like we talk about traveling experiences in life. The more you experience, everybody wants to do things, but you don't know that the more you experience, the more traumas that it put on you as well.
Yeah.
It unlocks more because you know more. Yeah. See, and it's easy when you know anything, you want everything. And then you start to realize, like, some of these things I wish I didn't know. Some of these things I wish I didn't experience.
See, me, when I look at what you said about when greatness or accomplishments or these type of accomplishments become normal, you know, the pinnacle moment in my life that moved me to accept Islam was in Abu Dhabi. I was staying at the time the only 7-star hotel in the world was Emirates Palace, you know, and it was a conclusion to some things I had experienced prior to that. I went to synagogue, you know what I'm saying? I visited Goree Island, first slave houses, ever built, like in West Africa, whatever. And I learned something about, I was stripped of nationalism because I learned that those people who passed through those slave houses and were brought here, our ancestors brought to this land to be, enslaved and forced into labor, that the initial group of them fought and they died on that land because they would not submit to no one other than God. So when I heard that story, I was like, man, we over here going crazy over this skin, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We got our issues, and they're not in place.
Yeah.
These people fought and they died for God, and I thought it was nothing that could exceed the nobility that comes with that, because it's like we dying for everything wrong: a blue rag, a red rag, a block. You know what I'm saying? A chain, a watch,
Yep.
some broad. 9 times out of 10, we all living out the story of Troy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
Yep.
Popeye fighting over olive oil every episode. Like these are things we used to seeing. But
Yep.
I'm like, yo, they fought and they died for God. Then I went to Kazakhstan. It's Middle Eastern Asia. This is Russia. You know. And I used to try to pick up some language everywhere I go because I was ignorant. And I remember I was with the president of Kazakhstan. I was smoking. I was like, yo, let me ask you a question. Like, when you see somebody, how you say what's up? He's like, Salaam alaikum. I'm like, no, that's what the Muslims say.
Mm.
So I learned diversity.
Mm.
I was being taught on a journey that had nothing to do with what I was discovering. So when I got to Emirates Palace, and I remember opening, the blinds, and I saw the sun rising over the Arabian Sea. And at that moment, it all made sense because I never paid attention to that. And you probably at that same state where night means, what I'm saying, party, whatever. Daytime, sleep, business, bank is open. Like, we programmed ourselves
Yep.
to look at these wondrous, what I'm saying, creations to just serve as some type of, purpose that belittles the true value of why they were created. And in that moment when I saw that, I knew that, listen, everything is being facilitated by a creator who's free from these needs, free from deficiency, free from flaws. So no matter what we achieve in this life, we're always going to have some level of emptiness, whether we mask it
Mm-hmm.
or like yourself. You're taking those necessary steps to start trying to address it, acknowledge it,
Mm-hmm.
learn from it. So I really think you are on a path to really figuring out that, there is some simplicity in all of the chaos you work through.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really get to unpack what life was like before. Because, we talked about your dad coming
Mm-hmm.
home from prison soon, doing almost 3 decades in prison.
Yeah.
You coming from Stockton, California. And I want to close with this because I don't want people to just misconstrue, all of the things that you said. Because the thing that made me draw closer to you and respect and appreciate, the friendship that we've established is that it all comes from a humble place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as you grow and as you excel and as you continue to be thoughtful and create this infrastructure so other people can benefit as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do with it is really clearly up to them. Like you said, I'm not here to try to,
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying to show you how to get to whatever it is you're trying to get to. And what you do with it, I'm still trying to figure out what I need to be doing, saying with everything that. So, that's what I want to close in. I want to make sure that people know that everything that you've put out,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that you've shared with people, whether it's through social media, through whether it's, InvestFest, Recession Proof, all of these different platforms. Explain to people in your most genuine and most purest form, like, who was Marcus Barney before Him500, before Bust Down, before Poindexter?
Before everything, um, I was Him500. I was who I was before I got here, right?
Okay.
But I'll explain that I've always been curious. I've always been a student, right? I've always been. I learn. I'm always watching. I'm analytical. I'm always creatively thinking, right? As a kid, my grandmother said, my great grandmother was like, "He not bad. He mischievous. Like he's just always into something. Like And that's always been me, right? And I give example like, and I'm gonna give you your flowers. Like I grew up and I knew Loon, so it was dope when we first met. Slim like it's Loon, and I'm like that, and y'all start speaking different languages, and I'm sitting there, and then I'm listening. I'm going, all right, and the conversations is going and about the world and traveling. Like you see, like how we sit here now and have this conversation. It's rare that I sit on podcasts and I sit with people. They always ask me questions and things like that. Like it was a constant thing anytime I talk to you is that you always educate me. It's always experiences and things that you've been through that I get to sit here and learn. So I'm sitting here looking and making my mind think, and I'm just being a student. I'm not trying to give you a bunch of game and back and forth because I'm learning. So as you asking me questions, I'm sitting here like I'm still unpacking some of the stuff you said and just how it applied to me and things like I'm stimulating my mind. I've always been that person. Like I like being in rooms and places that it's not one sided. When I can learn, I'm always willing. I want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And but one of the things that I identified early on is I identified who I wanted to be. I identified who I was, and I always said I'm a stand in that. Like at 18 years old, I got my real estate license, and I realized how I felt to put a suit on, how I got respect when I walked in a room with a suit, learning the importance of tying a tie and things like that. But I also realized that when I'm one of the flyest niggas in the room and I walk into to the homie house, how I feel too. And I said, I ain't never letting it go. I realized that that's who I was. I liked cars, I liked certain things, but I identified being comfortable with myself. Be a student, learn, and always continuously grow. So it never mattered what I did in this world. I always wanted to learn and grow. And if you constantly want to learn and grow, you should always want to learn and grow at the highest level. So I always operate. I want to be the best. Like I'm trying to take it. I want to take it there. Like if we on that, then we on that. We making money. It need to be in the top 1%. Like I want to do it that. If we doing a business, I got an education platform. It got to be better than everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna watch this podcast and I'm gonna push and see if I get the most views on your podcast. Like I'm that dude. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and that's things that I look at. Like I want to be the best. Like I look and I study people who do things the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's things that I look at. Like you see, when bro walked in the room, I said, "Nah, you did this. Why? Y'all did that the best." I
Mm-hmm.
seen the branding. It was
Yeah.
the best. It was the best experience when you go in.
Yeah.
And it was the first hub was like dope. You walk in, doors lighting up and shit. I'm like, yo, this is dope. This is the best barbershop I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And I look at this ain't no damn barbershop. This is like a food back here. It's massages over
Yeah.
here. I said, yo, this is crazy. I never seen it.
Yeah.
Then it goes bigger,
Yeah.
bigger facility. I'm like, yo, that's the best. I look at marketing. I look at advertisement. I look at the moves that's made and branding, how every building was, the logos, all these things matter.
Mm-hmm.
I always study.
Yeah.
So anybody who does anything impactful around, I look and I study. That's dope. It's great. Viral moments. How do you push the brand? How do you make it grow?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get awareness? I'm always studying. I'm all and intaking information. That helps me. But not only in taking it, but executing on it, moving on it. And so,
I'm gonna leave you with a beautiful statement. Um, It's a statement of a very famous scholar in Islam. He said, "Knowledge precedes speech and actions."
mm,
So in Islam, it's not permissible for us to speak or perform an act without knowledge. This is a form of self-governance. Because a person, like you mentioned before about the toxicity that festers in our communities, we normalize these things under the guise that we want to excel, we want to progress. But we actually normalizing things that stagnate us and even hold us back, you know?
yeah,
So having knowledge and understanding of that thing, the statement or the action that follows should conform with your goal or your objective is to progress.
yeah,
So if progression requires you to be healthy, you know what I'm saying? Conserve your energy, to be able to complete all the tasks that you're entrusted with, starting from what's prioritized, family, going all the way down. All of these things become your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So when we have knowledge and understanding of what those roles is, like you said, whether it's the guy at McDonald's or the guy that works for a Fortune 500 company, The one who governs their affairs the most is the one who's going to see the fruits of their labor. But if we add toxicity and all of those things into our regimen, hoping that things turn around and start to reflect what I see Him500 doing, or I see this guy doing, or what that guy doing, and you're looking clearly at these guys that they don't have these type of vices, they don't allow these type of things to impede their progress, then that means that you're abandoning knowledge.
Mm.
You're abandoning something that you know clearly is an obstruction, is an impediment, and it's going to stunt your growth. You know, so that could be applied in so many ways, and it's such a simple and profound statement that knowledge precedes speech and actions. So as a student, this is why I'm telling you this, because I'm
Knowledge
a student.
proceed.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And it's something that we never stop doing. We're gonna continue to learn until we meet our creator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the most important knowledge is to know who your creator is,
Mm.
because all of your affairs, all the way down to the very last dollar that reaches your account, it's already been preordained.
Mm.
Anything that's for you is not gonna miss you, and whatever ain't meant for you ain't gonna reach you. And that was something I lived by before I understood it to be true. You know what I'm saying? And it used to come across as brazen and just like reckless and like, nah, you bugging. Like, nah, if it's meant for me, this is a wrap. If it's not, then
Mm.
it is what it is. And I lived my life that way without guidance. But once I started to understand the simplicity of these type of things, it helped me grow more internally. You know what I'm saying? So the things that I do acquire externally, they tend to have a valuable perception, even if it's not something that, you know what I'm saying, is defined as value. Because society, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we define what value is.
Yeah.
And I think that you've been fortunate to have many things that's valuable. Starting with, like I said, you have an amazing story. You know, you have an amazing family. You
Mm-hmm.
created some amazing things, not just for yourself, but for people of color to benefit from. And I just want to, you know, definitely give you your flowers, and, you know, and just pray that, you know, Allah guides you, rectifies your affairs, and continue you on this path to be able to benefit not only yourself, but people are learning from you. You know what I'm saying? I've never met a person that known you or aspire to watch you and learn. I mean, you've benefited a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
wanted to get those things out to let people know that that gatekeeping thing, you freed yourself from that. So y'all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
find somebody else to put that on.
Mm-hmm.
You also, you know what I'm saying, showed that you identify with different facets of your own personality and character. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, in conclusion, you're still on the journey.
1,000%.
You know, and I hope you find success in that, like you found success in all the other things you have in life. And
Well,
I'm gonna keep aggravating you and calling you, and, you know, getting some game from you too. Cause like, yeah, like you
yeah.
said, you learn from me, I learn from you too. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
No, most definitely.
appreciate you, bro, taking this time. You know what I'm saying? It's your busy schedule and everything you got going on. And somewhere down the line, inshallah, we do it again. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam. It's your brother Amir, and you're watching the Perspective Podcast with my very special guest, Him500. So in conclusion today, I wanted to highlight or point out that growth and evolution is something that is real. And many of us as people of color, we aspire to be a lot of things, whether it's something that we grow, you know, we grow with, you know what I'm saying, in our hearts, or we aspire by things we hear, what we see. But the reality of it is, if it's something that brings about benefit to yourself and benefits to others, then you should strive upon this path until you meet success. But it's also important to understand that success comes with a price. And it can be very weighty. It can be very, very, you know, challenging to a point where some people break down. Some people don't have the endurance to endure some of the things that come with pursuing success, wealth, fame, or whatever the case may be. So when we find individuals who can be a testament of not only the path that leads to success, but can also give you insight on what takes place or transpires through that path, and acquiring the things that you're, aspiring to obtain, that at that point, this is where the second journey begins. So, with that being said, I want to thank y'all for viewing Perspective Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, comment. 'Cause I'm very, 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 very moved by the comments and things that people say. I learn from them. Just like my guest today, we're going to forever be students. You know what I'm saying? And when a person takes the initiative to study and learn, hopefully by the guidance, of the creator in the heavens and the earth and everything in between, it'll lead us somewhere where we'll find the completeness and the wholesomeness that comes with the harmony and true success that we try to acquire in this life and in the next. Barakallahu feek. Thank you for tuning in to the Perspective Podcast.